So right now there is, I mean, it's just a crazy number. There's $1.7 trillion sitting completely abandoned
Wow.
in forgotten retirement accounts across the country. And that's trillion with a T.
It's massive.
It really is. It is just sitting there, collecting digital dust, completely disconnected from the actual people who earned it.
Yeah.
So today we are going to find out if some of that money belongs to you. And more importantly, what you should actually do if you find it.
Right.
Because in this deep dive, we are taking a really hard look at the mechanics of retirement rollovers. We've got a stack of sources today, including data from the North Carolina Financial Literacy Council, and we have some tax strategy reports from Fidelity.
Which are very detailed, yeah.
Oh, incredibly detailed. So we're going to use all of that to map out 3 very specific, highly strategic moves you can make with old retirement funds. Our mission today is simple. We're looking for the hidden potential in your financial past, and we are going to break down how to transform those forgotten funds into massive assets for your golden years.
When you put that $1.7 trillion figure on the table, it really forces a shift in perspective.
It really does.
Because we often treat saving for retirement like this, this grueling marathon where the only way forward is to just grind out more hours.
Right. Yeah.
And earn a higher paycheck, force more money into a savings account month after month.
Oh, absolutely. Work harder, save more.
Right. But analyzing the source material, it reveals a completely different reality.
Yeah.
There is a staggering amount of wealth that people have already earned, already set aside, and then simply walked away from.
Which is wild.
It is. Finding and optimizing those existing dollars is often far more powerful than just trying to squeeze another $100 out of your current monthly budget.
Yeah, I think we need to talk about the psychology of how that even happens, though, because leaving a $5 bill in your jeans when you put them in the laundry is one thing. But abandoning a literal investment account feels like something no rational person would ever do.
Oh.
But we live in an era where jumping from job to job is it's just the norm now.
Yeah, it's expected.
Yeah. You do your 2 or 3 years, you build your resume, you get a new title, and you jump ship to a new employer, usually in pursuit of a higher salary. But what happens to the trail of old 401k accounts you just leave behind?
So the data points directly to the chaos of the modern career transition.
Yeah.
When someone leaves a job, their cognitive load is entirely maxed out.
Oh, for sure.
They are negotiating a new salary, they're navigating a completely new health insurance portal.
Ugh. The worst.
Yeah, figuring out a new commute, trying to impress a new boss.
Yeah.
So the $3,000 or $4,000 sitting in a retirement account from the job they're leaving an account they probably barely checked anyway,
Oh.
it just falls to the very bottom of the priority list.
Yeah.
They tell themselves, I'll deal with that HR paperwork eventually.
It eventually never comes.
Exactly.
It's kind of like that incredible rush of joy you get when you pull your heavy winter coat out of the closet for the first time in November,
Oh, I love that feeling.
Right. You reach into the pocket and you find a crisp $20 bill you left there last February. Except what we are talking about here is that exact same phenomenon, but on a massive, macro, life-altering scale.
A $1.7 trillion scale.
Right. But I keep coming back to the mental friction of it all. Why do people just leave this money behind? Do they assume it's just not worth the hassle?
The perceived hassle is the primary barrier here. Human beings we're notoriously bad at prioritizing long-term administrative tasks over immediate convenience.
Oh, guilty as charged.
Right. We look at a balance of, say, $5,000 or $7,000,
Yeah.
and our brain categorizes it as not enough to worry about today.
Yeah.
But to understand why that is a catastrophic miscalculation, we really have to look at the mechanics of how that money behaves over time.
Okay.
Our source material provides a very specific scenario that illustrates the gravity of this mistake.
Walk me through it.
So let's look at a 35-year-old who is finally feeling settled and decides to do some financial housekeeping. They track down an old 401k from their 20s and discover it holds just $7,000.
Okay, stop there. Because in the grand scheme of retirement, when literally everyone is telling you that you need $2 or $3 million to retire comfortably,
Right.
finding a $7,000 account, it might feel like a drop in the bucket to a 35-year-old. It almost reinforces the idea that it's not worth spending, an entire afternoon on hold with a previous employer's HR department.
It absolutely feels negligible on the surface.
Yeah.
But this is where the mechanism of compound interest changes the reality of the situation entirely.
Okay.
Let's say this 35-year-old pushes through the fiction. They recover the $7,000, they roll it over, and they manage it properly in a
Sure.
broad market index fund.
Okay, so they've got the money working.
Yes. Now, if we model that with an average historical return of about 8% annually over the next 30 years,
Uh-huh.
so taking them right up to a standard retirement age of 65, that isolated $7,000 becomes approximately $70,000
Wait, really? Just from leaving it alone?
just from leaving it alone.
Wow. It's a stark reminder of the opportunity cost. It's not just $7,000 you're leaving behind. You are literally abandoning the $63,000 of growth that money was supposed to generate for you.
Exactly.
But how does it actually get there? I think we should break that down because jumping from 7 grand to 70 grand sounds like magic to a lot of people.
It really does. But it is pure mathematics. It all comes down to interest earning its own interest.
Okay.
So in the first year, that $7,000 earns 8%, which is $560. So now you have $7,560.
Makes sense.
But here's the critical part. In year 2, you aren't just earning 8% on your original $7,000.
Right, you're earning it on the new total.
Exactly. You are earning 8% on the new total of $7,560. So the growth itself begins to generate more growth.
Ah, I see.
By year 10, the snowball is rolling faster. By year 20, the amount of new money being generated each year by the interest vastly outweighs the original contribution you made.
That's incredible.
You are effectively hiring that $7,000 to work a full-time job for you for 3 decades, and every year, it hires its own assistants to do the same thing.
Okay, I love that analogy. Hiring its own assistants. So for anyone listening who is suddenly realizing they might have a metaphorical winter coat pocket to check, how do they actually execute this treasure hunt? What is the practical action plan to get that snowball rolling again?
The most direct route is to simply contact the human resources department of your previous employers.
So you just email them.
Yeah, you don't need to hire a financial investigator or anything. You send a clear email providing your dates of employment and request the information for the 401k plan administrator. The HR department will point you to the financial institution holding the funds, so places like Vanguard, Fidelity, or Charles Schwab.
Right, the big ones.
From there, you will have to verify your identity, which usually involves a few forms.
Of course.
It is administrative work, yes. But when you consider that a few hours of paperwork could yield tens of thousands of dollars in future compounding, it is arguably the highest hourly rate you will ever earn in your entire life.
That is a great way to look at it. Okay, let's play this out. Let's say I spend a Tuesday afternoon emailing 3 old HR departments. I fill out the forms, I prove I am who I say I am, and I uncover 3 old 401k accounts.
Nice.
Right. I have successfully hunted down my lost money. But now I have 3 different logins, 3 different quarterly statements, and a massive administrative headache.
Yeah,
I feel like I've just created a mess for myself.
you have.
Yeah.
You have transitioned from the problem of lost assets to the problem of fractured attention.
Oh, that's a good phrase. Fractured attention.
Right, because planning for retirement is complex enough without having your wealth scattered all across the financial universe. The mental load of tracking asset allocation and performance across multiple platforms, it leads to decision fatigue.
Yeah.
And this is exactly where the source material introduces the second strategy, which is consolidation.
Okay, consolidation. So what does this all mean? Like, practically?
It means rolling over those old 401k plans into your new current employer's 401k account.
Okay, so bringing it all under one roof.
Exactly. Consolidating the chaos into one single manageable dashboard.
But wait, should I just, automatically dump all my old money into my current job's plan the very second I pass my probationary period? Like, is it a blind transfer just for the sake of neatness?
No, definitely not. Doing a blind transfer solely for the sake of a clean dashboard is a dangerous move.
Really?
Yeah. The sources are very clear that consolidation is only beneficial if the destination account is structurally sound. You have to look under the hood of your new employer's plan before you move a single dollar.
Okay, so what exactly am I looking for when I pop the hood?
You are looking for 2 critical components, the investment options and the fee structure.
Right, the fees.
Not all 401k plans are created equal. Some employers negotiate excellent plans with access to institutional class index funds that have incredibly low fees.
Okay.
But other employers, particularly smaller companies sometimes, might offer plans with very limited, poorly performing mutual funds that are burdened by high administrative costs.
Ugh. Because if the new plan has astronomical administrative fees, they are going to eat away at that 8% return we were just getting so excited about earlier.
Exactly. The destructive power of high fees is basically the dark side of compounding.
Oh, wow.
Let me break it down. If your old account is sitting in a fund that charges a 0.1% expense ratio,
Okay, pretty low.
right, but you blindly roll it into a new employer's plan where the funds charge a 1.5% expense ratio.
No.
Yeah. You are heavily handicapping your future growth. Over a 30-year timeline, that seemingly tiny 1.4% difference in fees can literally consume hundreds of thousands of dollars of your potential wealth.
Hundreds of thousands, just from a 1.4% difference.
Yes, because the fee is taken out every single year, compounding against you. You are weighing convenience against quality.
So the dashboard isn't worth it if the engine is terrible.
Precisely. If your new employer offers a robust plan with low fees, consolidating is a brilliant move. If the new plan is expensive or restrictive, you might be better off leaving the old funds where they are or rolling them into a personal IRA where you control the fees entirely.
That distinction is so crucial. It's not just about tidying up the paperwork. It's about making sure you are moving into a better financial house, not just a smaller, more expensive one. But let's say I've looked under the hood, right? And I decide I don't want to move the money to my new employer. Consolidation solves the immediate headache of multiple logins, sure. But what if I'm looking further down the road? What if I want to optimize not just for today's convenience, but for tomorrow's tax bill?
Well, that strategic pivot brings us to the third rollover method detailed in our research.
Okay.
The Roth conversion.
Ah.
This is where we move away from just organizing the money and start actively attempting to shield it from future taxation.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because I feel like the Roth conversion is one of those financial maneuvers that gets thrown around at dinner parties by people who want to sound incredibly savvy.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but the mechanics of it can be deeply intimidating to the rest of us.
It can be.
So instead of rolling an old 401k into a new traditional 401k, the strategy here is to roll it over into a Roth IRA.
Correct.
What is the tangible benefit of actually doing this?
So the Fidelity Report highlights two major advantages of the Roth structure. First, the money within the Roth IRA has the potential to grow entirely tax-free.
Okay.
Second, you avoid paying any taxes on qualified distributions when you actually reach retirement.
Wait, let me stop you right there. Qualified distributions.
Yes.
What makes a withdrawal qualified versus unqualified? Like, are there disqualified withdrawals where the IRS suddenly penalizes you?
It is a vital distinction, yes. For a distribution to be considered qualified and therefore completely tax-free, you generally must meet two main criteria.
Okay, what are they?
First, you must be at least 59.5 years old.
59.5. Got it.
Second, the Roth IRA must have been open and funded for at least 5 years.
Oh, okay, so there's a waiting period.
Right. If you pull the earnings out before meeting those conditions, you could be hit with income taxes and a 10% early withdrawal penalty. The government provides the tax-free shelter, but they strictly enforce the timeline.
Tax-free growth and tax-free withdrawals in retirement, assuming you follow the age rules. Yes.
I have to admit, whenever I hear the phrase tax-free applied to anything involving the government and money, my guard immediately goes up.
As it should.
Because there is always a catch with taxes. They don't just let you walk away without getting their cut.
The government always gets their cut. What's fascinating here is that the Roth conversion doesn't eliminate the tax burden at all. It simply changes when that burden is paid.
Okay, how so?
Well, to understand the mechanism, you have to look at how the money was taxed originally. A traditional 401k is funded with pre-tax dollars. You didn't pay any income tax on that $7,000 when you earned it at your old job.
Right.
A Roth IRA, by definition, is designed to hold after-tax dollars.
So you have to pay the toll on the bridge today before you are allowed to drive on the tax-free highway for the rest of your life.
That is the exact mechanism at play. Opting to roll a traditional pre-tax 401k into a Roth IRA creates an immediate taxable event.
An immediate taxable event, yes. By executing the conversion, you are adding the entire balance of that old 401k to your taxable income for the current calendar year.
Hold on. You want me to volunteer to pay a massive tax bill to the IRS this year out of my own pocket for money I can't even touch for 3 decades?
Yeah, how it sounds.
Why on earth would anyone choose to do that? I mean, if I convert that $70,000 from an old job, the IRS is going to tax me on that 70 grand this year as if it were regular salary on top of my normal paycheck.
which could easily push you into a significantly higher marginal tax bracket.
Exactly.
And this is exactly why the source material places a massive, flashing warning light on the Roth conversion. It is not a universally beneficial move.
Yeah.
You have to run a highly personalized calculus based on your current tax bracket versus your projected future tax bracket.
So let's map that out for a second. Let's say I am having a phenomenal year in my career right now, earning $150,000.
Okay, great year.
I am already in a high tax bracket. Adding a $70,000 Roth conversion on top of that would be brutal.
It would.
A huge chunk of that conversion would be taxed at my highest marginal rate.
In that scenario, executing a Roth conversion would likely be a strategic error. You would be paying a premium toll.
Yeah.
But consider the inverse scenario. Imagine you take a year off to go back to school. Or maybe you take a sabbatical. Or you start a business and your income temporarily plummets to, say, $40,000 for the year.
Oh. So my tax bracket drops significantly.
Drastically. In that low-income year, doing the Roth conversion means you pay taxes on that old 401k money at a much lower rate.
Oh, I see.
You are betting that paying the taxes now, at a historic low in your personal income, is vastly cheaper than paying taxes on the much larger compounded amount later in retirement when you were taking distributions.
You are timing the tax hit for when you are most insulated against it.
Precisely. It is an incredibly powerful tool for supercharging the efficiency of your retirement funds, but it requires a clear-eyed mathematical assessment of the current tax hit versus the future tax-free bliss.
Yeah.
You cannot execute a Roth conversion blindly.
It is all about fighting inertia. I feel like every single misstep we've talked about today, leaving the 1.7 trillion behind, suffering through the chaos of multiple accounts, losing wealth to hidden administrative fees, or ignoring the strategic timing of your tax brackets, they all stem from the exact same root cause.
Which is
Letting inertia dictate where your money sits.
absolutely. The ultimate takeaway from analyzing these sources is that active engagement with your financial past is mandatory.
Yeah.
Using the right conversion strategies can take seemingly small, easily forgotten amounts of money and turn them into highly meaningful assets that grow exponentially over time. The worst thing you can do is simply wait.
Well said. Before we close out this deep dive, we do need to provide the mandatory editor's note that accompanies the research we've unpacked today.
Yes, of course. Please remember that this deep dive is for informational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Listeners must consider their individual circumstances and consult a qualified financial advisor before making decisions.
Your map is entirely your own, and the specific moves you make need to fit your unique terrain. But I keep coming back to that $1.7 trillion statistic from the top of the show.
It's hard to shake.
It really is. We are looking at a workforce that is only becoming more fluid, with people changing roles in companies faster than ever before. If $1.7 trillion is already lost in old accounts today, mostly from people just navigating standard career changes, how much worse is this administrative leakage going to get in the next decade?
It's a great question.
It makes you wonder, what kind of personal, unshakable financial systems do we need to build for ourselves right now today, so that no matter how often we pivot in our careers, we never lose track of our own financial past in the future.